It's about that time. It's about that time. Time to do some smashing of televisions. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to what appears to be our last match of round one. Unless Drumbordus makes a very 11th hour last appearance. This will be it for round one, and at the conclusion of this race, assuming no Drumbordus 11th hour appearance, we will draw the round two matches, and we will see what we shall see for the next matchup set as we go on here. But anyway, I'm Brysolf. Welcome aboard. Flying solo. Have a cold. The whole nine. It is fan-freaking-tastic. And I did indeed give my mic a demute. So that whole intro made some sense to somebody. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Probably just give them a heads up they should get ready to go. Just gonna get them to give me the know-how when they're ready. And then we will get underway here. It's gonna be a little rough going on my own. I won't have Cards fan here to carry me through the deliciousness. That is that silky smooth voice of his. No Burgundy with his great voice. Unfortunately, I believe 40 watts still at work. So yes, indeed. So, in the one competitor, we have Starwind 3437, who has not had supremely great showings in this particular tournament. The last two tournaments. But it's okay, Sigma. I got it. I've already set it up, so we're good to go. But on the other hand, we have Jack, who honestly, despite his skills at the game, has almost been an underachiever in these tournaments. So I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to actually get himself underway with a win here, get himself on the right side of the ledger, and be ready to rock and or roll. Waiting for Jack to ready up. I think that's what he's doing just now. And we should be good and good. Comfy commentary. Whoa, 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 whoa. Comfy commentary. I don't know about that, Bully Mania. How are you doing? Everyone excited? Jack is still running Soul Heist while he's trying to play the frickin' game. What a goddamn maniac. Actually, how loud's the music here? It's not bad. My voice is definitely over the top of it. It might be a little loud, but we'll adjust this. Okay, looks like they're ready to go. Should be underway momentarily. So we'll have to wait and see. I might have to do a little adjust on the fly here, guys, but we'll get to it when we get to it here. Alright, so we will have to do a little bit of fixing of the stuff here. Because Jack's internet is a little wonky, as you might have already seen, so we're going to pause right around the 14-second mark. Okay, so we'll just get her lined up here. Here comes Jack 12, 13, 14. We're underway, both getting a Razor Shield to start. The goal in this room, avoid the smart bombs, avoid the grenades, use your Razor Shield as a weapon, and you want to ideally get out of here in 40 or less. So let's see what happens. Jack making great use of his shield thus far. Starwind has a mouse cursor on the screen. That's not distracting. He has to use a second Razor Shield. Jack is going to get out at a very low 40, it looks like. A 41 versus, from Starwind, about a 45, which is ahead of his PB. So there you go. Off to a decent start for Starwind, a little slow for Jack. Let's see what collect power-ups gives us. We want to see rockets, spreaders, Razor Shields, orbs, you know, get some stuff that'll help you get going. Now, you really want that orb. That is the most important pickup. Without that, you won't have the 2 bullets firing at a time. And right now, Jack making great use of what he's been given, smashing enemies to pieces. Both now getting grenades. Neither seeing fantastically great drops, but Jack definitely getting the better of it thus far. Jack's going to ignore that smart bomb. No, he did pick it up to clear out the shrapnel. It's late in the room. That's not a bad plan. You want to do it manually. Meanwhile, Starwind doing the best he can with grenades and feet. He is not getting very good drops overall. As we now head into Eat My Shrapnel on Jack's side of the ledger. This room, 18 shrapnels to be killed plus swarmers. A max of 4 shrapnel on screen at a time, so you want to keep them under 4 at all points. Starwind has picked up an orb at the end of collect power-ups. But he will be a good 20-some seconds behind already. But that orb could help make some time. He just got to hold on to it. Got to be careful of that swirl coming in the room as well. Meanwhile, Jack continuing to not get the drop he wants. And he is struggling to keep the shrapnels under control. So he's definitely dropping time in this room. Starwind, meanwhile, making use of good pickups. But he's not keeping the shrapnels under control. And then he runs into a exploding shrapnel. He can't be happy about that as Jack is into total carnage at 215. There's an orb replacement for Starwind. He just got to make sure to keep it clear of the enemies. Picks up a grenade, not ideal. Meanwhile, Jack collecting everything he can, including 1-ups. He is just trying to find anything right now that will get him what he needs to get that option so he can just control the room. The Razor Shield's going to help. Starwind is now in to Eat My Shrapnel, but 27 seconds behind. But again, he has the option, whereas Jack does not. A smart bomb by Starwind will clean up all the mess and get him starting fresh. Not a bad move early in that room. Get the shrapnel numbers out of your way. Jack with another Razor Shield. Still no option. Unreal bad luck for him. He's now had 4 or 5 Razor Shields as Starwind, meanwhile, drops the orb. So he's back down to a single little pea shooter. Using a smart bomb, gets a small spawn in. And Jack continues to go orbless here. And the weapons haven't been all that great either. But he's doing an efficient enough job considering what's going on. As he missed a guy there, as you saw with the pause of his internet stream. And he actually lost a few seconds because he thought that guy was gone. He is now into the bonus room at 326. And no doubt, that's like 30 seconds slower than he'd really ideally want to be if he's on a great pace. We now get, I think that's our first set of rockets we've had in the whole race. That is ridiculously bad luck. Starwind really ramming those rockets out. Fire and forget as Jack heads into tank trouble. And he gets rockets to start a great drop. This will allow him to clean up all of the messy stuff here. Shrapnels and turrets. And he can also just bust a bunch of enemies. So at least the rockets are starting to come around. Maybe Jack will finally see an orb. As Jack gets clubbed in the middle of the room, I'm not sure he can reach those rockets. He gets there in one of the last few frames possible. And Starwind exited total carnage at 4:12. Probably not going to like that time much. As now Jack continues to get spreaders and rockets and feed. He's getting everything he needs, but no option. No orb. No orb the whole way. This is ridiculous as he is not going to see one. You cannot get an orb in the boss room. He's going completely orbless for race number 1 here. But he is still well ahead, just with efficient use of weapons and movement. Jack is killed off the swirl. He gets a rocket to start. Not a bad first drop. Get rid of those turrets. Then he gets an invulnerability. Meanwhile, Starwind continuing to plow away in tank trouble. Getting kind of cornered here. You don't want to let those tanks get established because they will just keep on firing and they make it a real pain to navigate the room. Here is a chance for a spreader damage from Jack. He pops one arm. He pops the second. Meanwhile, Starwind using invulnerability. Actually, not really using it, just more deciding to stay away from the enemy. Jack dies again for another spreader setup. And he is dropping that damage into the boss here. Another 2-form spreader. I don't know if he can get to that lobber. Meanwhile, Starwind still plowing away here, trying to clean up the rest of the enemies. No lobber for Jack. Jack now stuck waiting for the next drop. It is a lobber. It was being sat on by the Mutoid Man. And now he gets a foot on top of that. And Starwind's now finishing up tank trouble. And he'll be out the door at 6:01. Jack to the final form here. He is looking to finish it off with these weapons. He's trying to navigate his way to that grenade. He gets it. He goes the long way when Mutoid rolls over it. Thankfully, he doesn't flatten the weapon. And that lobber will finish it. Jack is going to take race number 1 in a time of about 6:30, it looks like. And here's Starwind now trying to make use of that spreader. He's trying for the damage. He's a brave man. Because it's a tough ass, but he does a pretty good job not dying with that spreader. He'll get a lobber now at the bottom of the screen. Not very accurate fire, then he runs into a grenade. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. There's a spreader there. He's probably waited too long to go get it here on the death. Indeed, he waited too long to go get it. So he will have to wait for the next spawn. And he gets run over. And he will use his first credit now. As we hit just past the 7-minute mark. His PB is probably not going to fall here unless the drops start lining up a little better than empty drops and empty drops and empty drops. He does get the foot though. And he gets an invulnerability. The game is being freaking cruel as hell. And he runs into a shrapnel. It means nothing. He would still get the invulnerability. Gets a grenade as a follow-up. A lot of those grenade shots are actually landing a little shy. He's too far away from the boss firing those shots, so almost none of those grenades connected there. You got to be quite close to make sure they connect. He's got a rocket now underneath, and he has grabbed it, and there goes the first arm. And now a key. He is getting truly bad drops. The locations have been unfun. Nothing about this has been very kind to Starwind here. And when he's had weapons, it just hasn't quite worked for him regardless. Now he's waiting to see what he's got. He's got a lobber. He's going to aim for that brown spot on the chest because he deals double to triple damage. And Jack's race went pretty horribly for the drops up until those early spreaders on Mutoid, which allowed him to murder it. Starwind's going for a really long spreader. It's possible, but he's going to have to get... Oh, not quite. It's a really long run from the left side to get those spreaders once they're past the middle of the room. Mutoid's sitting on the weapon. Starwind firing his gun actually makes him a little slower when you're running. You should probably not actually fire your gun when you're running to a weapon that you want. You get there slightly faster if you don't fire your weapon. Starwind trying to plow down the boss here. Unfortunately, not landing many of these shots. He's going madman spreader strats, and he did land a few nice ones there, a few volleys. Gets electrocuted, grabbing the orb. He was too far, and he gets a key on the feet. Blue and yellow item, but the wrong blue and yellow item. The boss being cruel. Starwind's run over again. And he's going to use his continue here. And he will get that rocket. Now he's working Mutoid Man over. Trying to pound that head off of him. And get ready to go. And he's dancing in the lasers like a madman. An absolute crazy person. There goes Mutoid Man's head. Oh, but he vibrates into Starwind. He will not get that lobber. He'll have to wait for the next weapon drop. It is a lobber. Can he get to it? He did stop firing his gun there. A lot of inaccurate shots here from Starwind. I think he's just... I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, honestly. And then he gets run over right as he gets the rockets. He ran at Mutoid Man. You are brave, warrior, but foolish. That is not the way to be successful at Smash Badarsh TV. Now he is going to try to get to that lobber, but he runs into the mine. Might have been intentional, might have been setting up a possible spreader grab. No dice there. Not using the bank shots. He's at dangerous risk of getting lasered here. Goes to the bank now. Shrapnel gets him. The first one just misses him. The second one connects. And then he gets an empty drop. And he is now waiting for the next drop. It is a lobber. Kills off that shrapnel's invulnerability. Gets another shrapnel with the lobber shots. He's got to be careful here. Mutoid's fast in this form. But Mutoid Man decides not to be a charge and chuck. And he gets ready to go at another drop here. Almost none of those grenades connecting there. But that is enough. That's it. Starwind's going to finish here with about a 10:59, it looks like. Race number 1 goes to JackimusWedge. And we shall see what we shall see. A 10:59. Man, I gotta tell you, considering that Jack had such poor drops for most of that arena, he got the Mutoid Man luck, and that is the most important room that you want to get those drops in. It set him up and got him ready to go. He was able to kill off Mutoid Man. Honestly, that was about a 100-second Mutoid Man, which for a tournament race is fantastic. You want to be a little faster going for PBs, but for a tournament race, 100 is great. So now we're just waiting for the two players to ready up. And we will see what we shall see. And that reminds me, actually, I got to remember to shut off Starwind's feed until he's ready. Alright, he's back on that screen because he shares his whole screen, so I don't want to be releasing weird things and having things be things. What the hell did I just see? I saw something weird. What is going on? Is Starwind's feed frozen? There we go. Okay. I guess he's just trying to get the setup here. Alright, they both appear to be ready, so I'm going to give them the countdown to get underway here as we head into game number 2. So we should be underway momentarily with game number 2 of this final match of round number 1. Pardon my coughing. Yes, I have this head cold just really starting to boot my butt. It's not very good. We are underway here, and it appears we are still pretty well synced up. Always hard to tell with Jacks, but they look pretty even leaving the room 1, so I think we're good to go here. And now we have a curse in the middle of the screen for Starwind. I will have to give him, points of life here as we get ready. But regardless, we are underway. Starwind and Jack taking it on here. Jack in the red, Starwind in the blue. Using that Razor Shield as a weapon. Starwind wrecks his whole shield. Jack, meanwhile, just finishing off the room, it looks like, in about a 41 seconds. And Starwind will have about a 45. So about the same as last time. Heading into collect power-ups. And this is the room where we want to see that orb as soon as possible. But rockets, razors, and spreaders can also carry the load for you as you go. Or invulnerability and feet can actually get it done as well, temporarily. But long-term, not a viable strategy. Oh, and Jack gets clubbed down with the grenades, but he gets the orb drop, so he's going to clean the enemy out and go grab that and set up. This is bad news for Starwind, who did have a weapon of a spreader variety. Now gets a razor shield. Now making use and trying to pound the enemy down, hoping to get to that orb option as soon as possible. But Jack, meanwhile, just controlling the middle here with ruthless efficiency. Exactly what you want to do. Starwind gets an orb on the feet. He's just got to avoid the enemies now. Make use, and he clubs it off on an enemy trying to use the Razor Shield as a weapon. That is a really bad break for Starwind. But an orb gets taken away from Jack. He was complaining about not having one in the previous race, but he did not seem to really want to hold on to it, judging by what just happened. Starwind on about the same pace as is Jack, oddly enough, but Jack is now in real trouble here. But he's holding down the shrapnels a little better this time. He has got rid of the swarmers. Now he's got to hope for that orb to drop. Meanwhile, Starwind not killing the shrapnels. This is just killing his time in this room. Because as I said, you have a max of 4 on the screen at one time. He does get the orb drop, but he gets clubbed. Oh no, he gets clubbed, dies, loses the orb, does get the Razor Shield, and there's a first turn drop in total carnage for Jack. That is exactly what Jack needed here. If he can get some decent power-ups, he can be very low 3 leaving this room. They will put him on reasonable pace and would definitely give him a chance at a PB. Keeping in mind his PB is currently a 5:54, whereas Starwind continues to struggle along here and eat my shrapnel. As you can see, the swarmers are long gone, and he is currently trying to just get out of the room. Uses the smart bomb, makes his way out, and Jack is continuing to ignore the bad drops, controlling the middle, moving his location on occasion, and there is a Razor Shield on Starwind's side. Jack gets rockets, fantastic. He is pounding the enemy out, and he is done in a time of 3:03. Not a bad turnout there for him, all told. Starwind, meanwhile, there's a third option drop for him on this race currently. He's had trouble holding on to them. This Razor Shield will make it a lot easier. He breaks 2/5 of the shield on that shrapnel that came out the door. Getting a spreader now as Jack is heading for tank trouble. Oh, and Starwind gets annihilated by a shrapnel explosion. Bad first drop here. And Jack, oh, he doesn't double tap and he loses the orb to a swarmer coming in from the bottom door. Tough break there, as he's now just going to have to scramble this room. He gets rid of one of the turrets. Starwind, meanwhile, using a Razor Shield and spreaders, uses a nuke. Still more enemy to come. Jack has rockets. Actually, technically, the best way to play this room for Jack is nothing but no orb and nothing but rocket drops. But you so rarely get it, it's not worth the risk of dropping that orb. And speaking of dropping an orb, there goes another one. As Starwind heads into the bonus room at 4:06. He's got about a full minute to make up here. It's not looking great for him right now, but he did gold total carnage according to his splits, so there you go. It's always good to see those golds popping up. Jack is out the door at 4:25. He would need one hell of a Mutoid Man to get a new PB. But you never know until you know, and that's what you can know. First drop for Jack is grenades. First drop for Starwind in tank trouble was a foot, and he's unable to control the Horde. The Horde clubs him down, and now he's working over the gunner. Gets rid of the left gunner. Meanwhile, Jack gets an invulnerability, but he did have grenades and a delayed swirl, and then he gets a key. So 2 empty drops after that first grenade. And then another key, about the worst set of drops you can imagine here. Takes the death here, hoping for a spreader, but he gets a grenade. Meanwhile, speaking of grenades, Starwind continues to pound along here, trying to keep the swarmers off him. Lobbers for Jack. That should pop the first arm for him and get him started. And meanwhile, Starwind grabs himself the nuke. And more empty drops for Jack. Oh, this has got to be frustrating as all get out for poor old Jack. Rockets for Starwind. Jack dies, unable to reach the lobbers. Now home for a quick drop. He's got a spreader. It was a spreader quick drop, so he got to do a little bit of weapon and grind in there. And he has, in fact, I believe, made a Glitch Toid. Let's see. He has made Glitch Toid Man. That's when you change the second and third form with one spreader in fast enough succession that he's not able to fully form change before the next one. And it creates that weird abomination of half shirt, half blown open ribcage. Jack going for grenades. Starwind using grenades in tank trouble. Trying to get to the spreaders. He makes it. Meanwhile, Jack pops the head, gets lobbers. If he uses the full clip, he will definitely be onto the final form here. It looks like he's just going to go and finish him off here. Get him the final form. Starwind is now into Mutoid Man. Well off PB pace as Jack has reached the final form. Mutoid Man being a jerk. A Shrapnel being a jerk. Jack using a credit. Starwind right now sees grenades. Can he get to rockets, pardon me? Yes, he does. He will get... No, he does not. He gets killed before he's able to kill either gunner, but both are heavily damaged. And he'll be able to use those lobbers now from distance to finish them off. And Jack, meanwhile, uses another lobber up, and this grenade probably will do it. It does. Jack is going to win this race in about a 6:59, it appears. He takes a death for fun. Shoots the shrapnel. Still has time. Meanwhile, Starwind ramming rockets into Mutoid. Pops the arm with a 6:58 for Jack. He will not be happy with that, I am sure, but he takes the game, he takes the match, and we did indeed see Glitchtoid. As Starwind now looking to pop that second arm, he's missing a lot of these lobber shots. Diagonal bank shots are a huge bonus to have here. He's going to grab that spreader. He probably couldn't have died and got to it. Oh, and Mutoid Man says no manual spreader damage, and just toothpastes him into the ground. Oh, that was disgusting, Mutoid Man. Now Starwind working on landing those shots. He's into the third form change. Trying to land these shots, trying to get to the lobber, runs into a shrapnel. That hitbox was a little ungenerous, if I'm being honest with you. That was a bit mean. Another lobber for Starwind here. Looking to land those shots. Gets an invulnerability. Takes out a shrapnel, and now he's trying to pop that head here. Gets rockets. There goes the head. Starwind trying to get sub 10 here. He had a really rough go on Mutoid last time, and he's getting much better weapon drops, but he gets run over there with rockets in hand. And right as I say the drops have been better, he heads into a foot. Foulberry grenade at least, so he should be able to land some damage here. Probably won't change the final form on this one. No, he won't, but this lobber should be enough. The final form of Mutoid is due any second. I don't know if Starwind saw that shrapnel or just happened to adjust. But he gets run over as the final form of Mutoid comes out. Yet another lobber here for Starwind. These drops are pretty decent for race luck overall. Gets the invulnerability, firing shots, wild, willy-nilly, all over the place. Gets the spreader now. Might be enough to finish Mutoid, but he'll have to get in a little closer. Gets killed by a shrapnel! Oh, he's going for the invulnerability, and he gets picked off by an exploding shrapnel. And once Starwind is done here, guys, we will draw the next set of races for the next round of this particular tournament. And we will see who will be facing off in the next week or so. We will get these matches set up as soon as we can. Meanwhile, empty drops now piling up, and another shrapnel picks Starwind off right as invulnerability runs out, hoping for a weapon drop. He gets grenades. Will this be it? It is! He finishes off Mutoid, man. He will get about a 946, it appears. Awfully close to getting killed by Mutoid here. It's actually a 945, 946, somewhere in that range. Congrats to both racers. Jack wins.